Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be mine and baby Stanley's 2-week update. So if you want to see how we've been doing for the past week, then keep watching. So I'm going to be combining these videos moving forward, so they're like a baby and postpartum update all in one, because a lot of the topics that I'm going to talk about do cross over anyway. But yeah, Stanley is 2 weeks old and 2 days, and the reason why I have waited is because we were waiting for him to be weighed today by the midwife, and I just wanted to include his weight in this because obviously it's part of, you know, the last week and so. And yeah, I'm really pleased to say that he was born at £9 6 ounces and he is now £9 8 ounces, and we have been discharged from the midwifery team, which is, you know, woo, amazing. I was really pleased to get that sort of nod of approval today, because this was a baby that when we first brought him home, he wouldn't even like latch onto a bottle properly, let alone the breast, and it was a real challenge. I was worried about his feeding and his weight gain, and obviously with like my medical history and like my syndrome and stuff, I kept thinking, what if he has got like a really mild version of it? But as I've gotten to know him and time has progressed and he's gotten used to like feeding, I realised that he's doing absolutely fine. And I'm so grateful though that we got his tongue tie cut, because it made a huge difference to the way that he has fed. And typically that would be for the breast to encourage like a better latch for breastfeeding. But I am sad to say, and I really don't want to get upset in this video because I've done a lot of crying recently and I really just want to stay positive. But I am almost winding down now from expressing milk, and last night in particular I got really upset because I noticed that my supply was dropping, which is a good thing because that's what I'm trying to do to try and wean off, but it was just very sort of finite. And I think one of the biggest things that I've struggled with is like not only that his feeding journey with me at least has ended and it wasn't the way that I hoped, it's also like I'm never ever going to grow a baby again, so either grow in my tummy or grow with like my milk. And it just felt like the beginning of an acceptance and a realization that things were going to change. And it's really funny with your feeding journey because it hurts so much in a way that I don't even understand. So, you know, like if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, I'm not gonna notice in a crowd who's been breastfed or formula fed when I'm out and about. I have no clue. And all of these little decisions that you make as a parent add up to your child and your child's future and your child's like health and happiness, and they're all such tiny decisions overall and you don't really notice them like separately. But I'm just in pain. Like I was absolutely brokenhearted last night. I sobbed, like actually sobbed in Mark's arms, and I was just devastated because, you know, if you breastfed or expressed like I have, you'll know that like once your supply starts to deplete, it's very difficult to get it back again. So I don't really feel like there's any turning back for me. But I have just been miserable because with pumping, you are very confined to your house most of the time, and I've just watched my family get disappointed, to be honest. I've seen the disappointment in my kids' faces when I've been like, no I've got to pump, or you know, like ask Dada to help you and ask Dada to do that. And Mark and the kids, like their relationship at the moment is so strong, and I feel like I've really had to take a back seat. And it's not even like I've taken a natural back seat in just because I've got a new baby who is very intently watching me talk. It's been like a back seat from everybody, because when I'm pumping I am not able to hold him because I'm pumping both breasts, and they can come off and milk goes everywhere, and it's quite a tricky tricky situation to be involved in. And it's not even like when you breastfeed, you can kind of get up and move around and the baby will stay latched on. You can't do that because you're attached to a plug socket. And I've just felt really sad because all of the time that I've been hooked up to the pump, I could have been cuddling him, I could have been playing with Bill, I could have been making Daisy laugh, I could have been snuggled up on the sofa with Mark when the kids were in bed, and instead I've been in my corner dutifully doing something that I really felt like in my heart I needed to try and do, but I can't do it. And it's just not, it's not worked. Every time I try and latch him now, he gets angry and frustrated, he cries, he like tries to get away from me, and you do feel like, you just feel like a pest, and I feel desperate, and I feel rejected, and I feel sad, and I feel frustrated. It's been really, really difficult, and that for me has been the hardest thing. It really, really has. But we have tried him on formula and he's doing really well, and I've still got milk in the fridge that he can drink, and I reckon I've probably got a few more pumps left and then they will be empty. And while my boobs will be empty, my arms won't be empty and my heart won't be empty, and I've still got him, and that is the most important thing at the end of the day. But I just really wanted to talk about it because I feel like it isn't really spoken about enough, and a lot of mums completely torture themselves over their decision to feed, and I really, really don't want that to happen to you if you're watching this. So like, learn from my mistakes because life is way, way too short. But otherwise, with Stanley, he has changed a lot in the past week. He is much more alert and awake, and a lot of the time he feels like a bigger baby than he actually is. Like, he's only 2 weeks old, and obviously his size makes him seem a lot bigger than he is, but he just seems like a little bit further along to me in terms of what I can remember. So he does have very, very awake periods during like the day, so there'll be one in the morning and then there'll be one around now, and then there's usually another period before bedtime where he gets very, very, very grizzly, and he tends to stockpile his milk. And I think he does that because honestly, this is a baby that currently, I'm not saying this is what it's going to be like forever, but currently he likes to sleep at night. He likes to have a good routine at night time. He goes down and we wake him up for 2 feeds throughout the night. Then I feed him in the morning at 6:30 when we wake, and it's just a really good routine. So at the moment while Mark is off work on shared parental leave, we're doing a feed each, and last night was the first time that I didn't pump in the middle of the night, so I was only up for half an hour, which has been incredible for me in terms of like recovery and getting enough rest. I'm fully expecting that as he gets bigger, maybe he could develop like something like colic, or you know, things could completely change. But for now, I am just relishing like the fact that I have a baby that seems to be very, very routine led. If you would like me to do a routine video on like what we do with a newborn, then let me know in the comments below, and by all means I will do, if anyone finds that useful. But I do feel like a lot of the time it is completely down to the baby, and different babies have different sort of perks and downfalls, and we're all like that because we're human, aren't we? He is still in up to 1 month clothing, which is the clothing that he went into initially because he was obviously quite a good size at £9.6, and I think we've probably got another week or so left in this. But if he carries on growing at the rate he's growing, then I don't think it would be too much longer until we're in 0 to 3, which is like scary to think about, and I'm just willing everything to slow down a little bit now. But yeah, we are really doing quite well. And in terms of me and my recovery, my bleeding has eased off a lot now, to the point where like I can go hours and hours without anything, and then I will sort of have like, if I've been particularly active, I can feel that, you know, I'm wet and I've bled and I go to the toilet, and lo and behold I have. So it kind of comes in like, it's almost like it's been loosened by me being active, and then it like goes off again. So I'm hoping within the next week or so I can go back to not wearing like giant pants and like pads and stuff, because I do find them really uncomfortable, and I feel like all I'm doing is pulling a wedgie out half the time, which isn't great. I've really noticed a difference in like how I feel physically. I am getting on with so much at the moment at home. I have good days and bad days. Like some days I feel a little bit sore, other days I don't, but I'm able to like, you know, take the bin out out now and like carry that big bin bag, whereas when I was pregnant I just couldn't manage it at all. I'm able to pick Daisy up, I'm able to get down on my hands and knees, and I've just got a lot more energy than I did when I was heavily pregnant, which is a relief because I've really missed that. I have obviously had some discomfort with my boobs because obviously when you're weaning off breastfeeding or expressing, you can get quite sore and engorged, at least in the early stages anyway, when you're producing, you know, your baby's main source of food. So I have weaned off like a pump a day basically, and because I've done this before, I kind of know how to do it and what's best for my body. But yeah, that's not been great and has been quite uncomfortable, but I've been like wearing a really supportive maternity bra from Cake Maternity, I think it is, and I absolutely love it, so I'll leave that link down below if you're curious. But it's just been so comfortable and still gives me like enough support that I don't look like I'm not wearing anything or I've got like droopy boobs or something, which is never a good look, is it? Obviously, like emotionally, I still can tell when I'm having a hormonal day, and I think yesterday was one of them, and it was also heightened by the fact that obviously my milk was dropping and things like that. But generally I'm doing okay, and I don't really have any signs of, you know, say postnatal depression yet, or even post-traumatic stress rearing its head again after Daisy, because I've always been told that it could like come back again because you do get flashbacks from before and you're reminded of tougher times. But you know, fingers crossed, so far I'm doing really well. Physically, my body, I'm okay with it. Like my boobs are going down, which, you know, physically from like the way I look, I prefer. I don't like having huge boobs at all. Mark loves them. I'm not a fan. And I think that my waist has come down some more and my tummy's gone back to normal a bit more, but I've still got fat to lose. And I'm thinking about introducing Slimming World sort of techniques and that sort of thing into my diet slowly, and then when I have my 6 to 8 week checkup, I'm gonna hopefully get the approval to start properly and go from there, because I would like to get back into shape. And I bought a few like size 12 dresses ready for summer, and I would like to fit into them comfortably by the time it eventually warms up. So before I go, I thought I would share a few things that I've really been enjoying in these last like 2 weeks. I will do a newborn favourites and essentials video if you would like as well, so again let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see one of those. But the first one that I want to tell you about is the Love to Dream Swaddle Me, I think that's what it's called. It's in the washing machine at the moment and needs to go in the dryer, so I won't show it you because it'll be all wet, but I'll insert a picture like here. And it has been something that I put Stanley in every single night since he was born, and I don't know if that is part of why he sleeps so well, but he absolutely loves it and looks so snug and warm. And it's basically like a swaddle sleeping bag where his arms are like up here, so he looks like a little like starfish or something. Super cute. And he really feels comfortable like that, I can tell, and he seems very secure, and he just sleeps like a dream in it. He really does. So we've loved that. And then I also want to share my favorite nappy, because normally with nappies I use 3 brands quite often because of the convenience of buying them. Basically, we used to have an Asda in our village, and we would get the Asda Little Angels nappies, but then that Asda closed down, and then there's like one in the next town, so we do have some Little Angels nappies. So I had some ready to go for when he was born, and we've been using them again. We used them with Daisy and I absolutely love them. We had some Pampers and we tried those, and just for Stanley's bum personally, they didn't seem to fit as well, and they didn't seem as soft. I don't know why, but they just don't to me. And then we also got some of the Aldi Mamia ones, because that's what I predominantly put Daisy in these days, because obviously she's bigger and, you know, they do some massive nappies, don't they, and I wanted to keep costs down. They work great on her, but for him they've been leaking, so I don't know if it's just like a dodgy batch or something, but he's in size 1 still and they have leaked, and it isn't even like a size issue. It seems like they actually fit him really well, but they're leaking and it's really annoying. So the Little Angels are our favourites at the moment, and Mark will agree with me on that. We have also been loving these Primark muslins. I got these when I was pregnant and I had them with Daisy as well, and I remember loving them then. But they are so soft and they wash really well, and I just find it so handy to have like 2 or 3 of these dotted around the house, just ready for like mopping up like milky mouths or with like pumping and stuff, and I've been loving those, and they wash well and dry quickly and they're just great. And then bottles, we have absolutely been loving these Man ones. We have tried the Philips Avent ones with Stanley. Those are the first ones. He had massive struggles with those, took ages to latch onto them, and it also took him about an hour sometimes to feed, which was burning a lot of energy for him and was probably quite counterproductive. Then we tried the Tommy Tippy Closer to Nature ones because I've used those with Bill and I thought I'd give them a go, and he just didn't get on with those at all. They were quite leaky and messy with him. And then I tried the Man ones and I absolutely love them. They are self-sterilizing as well, which is handy for travel, and they are anti-colic, and you can get like green like we have, and then there's blue ones and pink ones, so if you want to like match it to your baby's gender you can do, but I can't recommend them enough and I think they're really, really good. So I'm going to quickly insert a clip of my postpartum belly at 2 weeks here. So you'll have to excuse the awkward angle of me in my kitchen, but this is the best I can do at the moment. I'm learning baby steps. But yeah, this is me with clothes on. I will leave a link to my jumper down below if you are interested, and this is me from the side, and then this is me with my clothes up, and I do think it has come in a lot more, but yeah, I'm not too unhappy right now, and we all come in different shapes and sizes at the end of the day, and it's only been 2 weeks. So yeah, that is the end of our 2-week postpartum update. I'm hoping that as these progress they'll be less and less long, but at this stage you do have a lot to talk about because your baby changes really quickly and you change really quickly. So yeah, I hope it was interesting anyway, and I hope you are all doing well if you've had your babies, or you're at the same stage as me, or maybe you're expecting a baby really soon, because I wish you lots and lots of luck. But yeah, I'm gonna go and snuggle this one some more, and I will see you next time. Bye.